On3's updated class of 2025 rankings have been released, and they've added a bunch of international players that have decided to take their talents to college basketball, including Omer Mayer, the Purdue shooting guard, combo guard that we are super high on. Omer Mayer debuts as a four-star prospect in On3's class of 2025 rankings as the 46th overall player in the country. Always kind of fun to get a reference point here when you're bringing in an international kid. Like if he was a high school player in this class, where would he slot in? 46th in the country is the answer from On3. Does this feel too high, too low, just right? What's your reaction?
Uh, it feels a little bit greedy by me to do so, but I don't know. When I watched him and seen him play like that, it looks like a top 30, 40 kid, not 50.
Yeah, I think in order to like maybe say that, I think you've got to sort of look who's around him in the rankings and just here's some notable names that people that listen to our channel may be familiar with if you are a regular listener. Cam Ward, Michigan State, 47th best player in the country, so one spot lower than Omer Mayer. I will say, I don't think anyone really, at least one of us, is projecting Cam Ward to be like a big time on court guy right away. Could happen. We're open to it, but I think in my mind we view Meyer as like a more sure bet starter contributor than Cam Ward, at least a little bit. Caden Lewis is 50th in these rankings. We love Caden. We've been huge fans of his, so that's 1 point for Omer Mayer being in a pretty good spot. Derek Dixon, the North Carolina point guard recruit, 58th. So there's some good players here that Mayer is ahead of. There's also a lot of guys in the mid 30s down into early 40s that I would just immediately put Mayer over. No disrespect to these guys, but like Caden Mingo, Alex Lloyd, Jacob Wilkins, Michael Perez, Jameer Jones, the kid going to Providence. I don't know. Feels like 10 spots too low to me, but I don't know. We interrupt this sleepers video to tell you about an offer from Underdog Fantasy. Cart, you love Underdog Fantasy, correct?
Of course I do. Can I have a moment real quick?
Please. Thank you for that. In fact, I'm going to cut you off because our listeners like when we keep these short and sweet. Underdog Fantasy. Sign up as a new user. Use promo code SLEEPERS. Get bonus funds up to $1,000, 50% of your deposit match. The NBA playoffs are rocking right now. I played Underdog last week with a Cade Cunningham line. I'm looking forward to doing it throughout the entire first round of the NBA playoffs, but there's more. You can place picks on golf. You can place picks on baseball. You can place picks on the NHL playoffs that are rocking right now. Join Underdog Fantasy, promo code SLEEPERS. Support this show so that we can keep bringing videos to you. Back to the video.
Yeah, at least they got him in here. I feel like honestly, some of these international processes can just get disrespected a little bit more, and they just like throw him in the 70s. But yeah, to me, he'd be more of like a 35th best player, 37th best player in this class. Feels a little bit better.
Can we do the much more interesting part of this conversation to me?
Yes.
So On3 ranks Omer 46th. I'm going to do a little recruiting service to recruiting service comparison here. This is probably like against the Bible of recruiting coverage, but I'm going to do it. 46th in the country per On3. If you look at 24/7's all-time Purdue basketball recruit rankings, anyone who has ever committed to Purdue basketball since 2000, Omer Mayer would be the second highest rated commit ever.
Really?
Caleb Swanigan was 33rd. He's the only five-star in Purdue basketball history per 24/7.
Whoa.
Uh, Next on the list is actually Trey Kaufman-Renn at 50th.
Where's Ivy?
You want me to go through the top 10 here? It's actually pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
Caleb Swanigan, 1, five-star, 33rd. Trey Kaufman-Renn, 2, 50th, four-star. Caleb First, 3, 67th in the country. Jakari Harris, 4, 75th in the country. Jaden Ivey, 5th, 99th in the country. Kendall Stevens, 6th. DJ Bird, Tyrone Johnson, AJ Hammonds, Ethan Morton from there.
What a list. That's crazy. That is fascinating.
It speaks to how recruiting has evolved under Painter too. Like I think for the better part of 2 decades, his whole thing has been identifying players who are woefully under the radar and hitting home runs with them. He still has done that with Zach Edey and Braden Smith, and maybe Luke Ertl coming in next. But a lot of those names at the top of the Purdue recruit rankings are recent. These are like big name gets in the recent years. And I think, bringing in an international kid in Mayer who would rank top 50 is definitely a step forward that Painter hasn't always done. He's evolving, as I like to say. But is there any world here, Cart, where Mayer lives up to the billing of second best player that Painter's ever had?
No.
It's because Zach Edey and Braden Smith are too special.
Oh yeah.
What's the current Purdue hierarchy of best players under Painter?
ED1. It's Braden too.
Yeah, I think so. Edie Braden, and then depending on where you have Hummel,
Hummel, then the guys we like, Juwan Johnson,
Carson Edwards, Etwan Moore,
yeah,
Iggy
Travion,
Swanigan, Travion.
Travion.
So basically, okay, what's percent chance Omer Mayer ends his Purdue career as a top 10 Painter player ever?
I'd set it at 21% chance.
It's got to be low. I think 20% feels like that's if you have a 20% chance of being a top 10 player ever, that's huge.
Yeah, true. That's kind of high.
But we like him. We like him.
Yeah, he's good enough.
All right. Well, Painter taking the necessary steps to get this program right back into contention the way we want to see it. Good to see.